Good evening everyone, welcome to our Thursday evening clinical Pilates class. This is a focus class on our neck, thoracic, so when I say thoracic that's our mid-back and our shoulders. We are going to be using some weights. You can use the hand weights, the balls that I've got, you can get those online, or you can use hand weights. Somewhere from 0.5 to 1 kilogram will be absolutely fine. If you choose to do anything harder, I'm not taking responsibility for that. So please placing your feet hip distance apart, nice soft knees, growing tall towards the ceiling, keeping that peach tucked underneath your chin, wide collarbones, shoulder blades connecting down towards your back pockets, finding that neutral spine and drawing in lower abdominals, little lift up through your pelvic floor to center. So starting with nice big shoulder rolls. And then floating those arms up in front of you, palms facing down, elbow to your back wall, working left to right. But make sure that that pelvis doesn't rotate around with you. We just want all of that movement to go into the spine. So don't twist through the pelvis and the hips. Last one. Big sweep around. So hands behind the ears, shrugging the shoulders up, pulling the shoulders back down, and then unwinding for me. So lift, lower, sweep around. One more of these. And then taking that head across to the side, stretching down the side of the neck. And then swap it to the other side for me. So nice big reach across. Make sure that it's on the neck that you feel the stretch and you're not leaning with the body. And then coming all the way into our roll down. So chin down towards your chest, peeling each spinal bone forwards in order, lengthening through the back of those legs, taking a deep breath in when you get as far down as you can. And then breath out, tucking that tailbone under, stacking each spinal bone back on top. Chin is the last thing to lift. And go again. Lovely. One more of these for me. Keep those shoulders away from those ears. Keep those arms nice and relaxed. And then a nice through range squats for me. So all the way down, pushing those hips forward, squeezing those glutes, hands on your hips, hands in front of you, hands sweeping out in front of you if that feels more comfortable to you. Using that nice range of movement. So make sure you're not too dominant on the front of your feet, whichever is the right way to say that. So you make sure that you're getting that weight on your heels for me. So you're getting that nice glute connection. And then stepping into our curtsy lunges. So stepping behind, but keeping your body facing forward. So try not to turn onto the side like this, because then it's just like doing reverse, okay? So we want to be placing pressure on the outside of our hip joints. And then coming into toy soldier for me. So opposite arm, opposite leg, big sweeps. And then finishing up with walking. And relaxing down. So we are going to do a quick routine of neck stretches. Now, these neck stretches, I give this routine to most people with kind of just your mechanical kind of side, back neck discomfort. They're going to open the facet joints, going to stretch out the soft tissue. So these 3 exercises are just a really nice kind of basic routine to do to just get your neck moving. So you are going to take your head across to the side, here down to your shoulder, and I want you to apply a little bit of overpressure on, and if you can, reach down through the opposite arm. Now, in clinic, if I have somebody that just has one-sided neck problem, I would just tell them to stretch that side only. I wouldn't say to do it to the other side, because quite a lot of the time the facet joints are affected on that side, and this is a compressive position for them. So if you do have one-sided neck discomfort, just do these stretches away from that side. And then swap into the other side. So again, if you've got that one-sided, just hold that a little bit longer on that same side. For everybody else who just needs a general loosen, swap into the other side for me. And then come back to the center. So chin down towards your chest. Make sure that your spine is long. So try not to be in this like slumped flex position as you do your flexions. Nice and long through the spine, chin down towards your chest and pulling forwards for me. And then relaxing down. So they're quite common ones that people have probably been told if I've had neck problems. But one muscle that kind of gets left out with neck stretches is the levator scapulae. So this muscle comes from the tip of the shoulder blade all the way up to the occiput, the back of the head here, down the side of the neck. So to get this stretch on, you need to take your chin off center, chin down towards your chest, and then pull in that direction with your hand. Again, if you know you're just symptomatic on one side, just stretch the symptomatic side. You don't need to do the other side. But if it's general stiffness from left to right or just some good mobility from left to right, do both of them. Swap into the other side for me. So head across, chin down, and pull. And relaxing down for me. Well done, everyone. So grabbing hold of your weights. As I say, don't judge me, anyone. I've had a long day in clinic today with my 1 kilogram weights. At least I'm not. Last week we did a hips oh my class, and then I did a run in the morning as well, and my hips were like, Amy, why have you done this to me today? So growing nice and tall, starting out lateral movements for me out to the side. So loading into those deltoids, but concentrating on that shoulder blade connection. So as you raise up, you're not aiming to lift up through the shoulder blades and create that shrugging type action. You just want those shoulder joints to abduct, taking out to the side to 90 degrees and then returning back again. So peach underneath your chin, that little subtle awareness of the crown of your head just being lifted up towards the ceiling. Keep working for me. I'll try and judge the best I can, but as I say, my weights are slightly heavier than I normally use. I can't find those lighter ones. I shouldn't admit these things to you, should I, that I do things like this, but I do normally cheat and go for the easier option in our shoulder classes. My work is very demanding though. I have had a full clinic. Four more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then from here we're going to do upright row. So you're going to bring your weights together. So if you've got balls, the weighted balls, if you've got hand weights, you're just going to put them together and you're going to lift up and down. Okay, so again, still working deltoids. So they might not, the burn might creep in a little bit quicker, but make sure that your elbows are above your shoulders. So don't have your elbows down here because it won't squeeze deltoids. They need to be up here and lowering back down again. So just make sure that you're not shrugging the shoulders. So shrugging the shoulder blades up. Make sure it is the shoulder itself that lifts up and squeezes on the top here. Okay, so make sure that you get it on the side of the shoulder, the connection, and not a squeeze to the upper trap here as you do those movements. So keep that breastbone lifted, keep that head nice and tall. Five more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Little bit cruel following on a deltoid exercise after another deltoid exercise. Normally I do swap muscle groups around, but I was a little bit cruel then. So coming all the way down from here, I want you to upright row. Okay, so you're going to hinge at your hips. So don't flex forwards like this and come up and down. Okay, I want you to see that you're coming down into this squat position, sticking your bottom out, hinging at the hips, length through the spine, and you are going to lift your elbows up towards the ceiling, squeeze in between those shoulder blades. So imagine as though you've got a pencil between your shoulder blades and you're trying to nip it with each retraction that you do. So you're retracting the shoulder blades, but you're also extending the shoulder as well by lifting the elbows up towards the ceiling, which is going to work our trapezius muscles. So 1, keep going. So make sure it's not a shoulder shrug again. Make sure it's a scapular squeeze behind you. Your shoulder blades are squeezing back behind you and you're not doing this. So if you're squeezing back and you feel like your shoulders are lifting up, that is incorrect. So do not do that. Let the lower portion of your shoulder blades connect and squeeze together and then lower back down. Lovely. We're going to do 5 more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. So, placing one of your weights down, you are going to come into external rotation. I'll show you from the side. So from here, you are going to take the arm all the way back and then return. Externally rotate and then return back down again. It's up to you. You can do 5 or you can do 10, and then you're going to keep swapping from left to right for me. So keep that shoulder and that elbow to 90 degrees. Okay, so when you externally rotate, don't let this elbow drop down. It wants to be here and then returning back again. So really nice deltoid and rotator cuff stretch and strength. So make sure you push to that end range position and then you come back again. So you are aiming to keep your elbow at 90. So when you come back, there should be a right angle at your elbow. Okay, so right angle here and a right angle here. So tip of your shoulder blade connecting down towards your back pocket. If you're doing this again, remember, you're just going to get really, really tight on top of that shoulder. I want the tip of that shoulder blade to do the stability work and not the upper traps here. It's not their job to stabilize, they're movers. Their job is to lift up and down when we need it, okay? It's not to sort of hold that position for long periods of time. Otherwise, they just get so tired, and that's what creates that tension and discomfort on top of the shoulder. You can also create trigger points in the area if they're overly worked and switched on for too long. So you decide again, 5 or 10, keep swapping left to right for me. Lovely. When you get back to your last side, sorry, your second side, last round of 5 or 10 that you've been doing. Lovely. When you are finished, you're going to grab both of those weights again. So external rotators again, but not acting against gravity as much. So you are going to dumb waiter, so this exercise is called dumb waiter, and then returning back again. So squeeze and then return. So just take your little bit of recovery. It's quite a gentle exercise this, but then we are including a little bit of arm stretches, which again is going to work biceps and it's going to work deltoids as well. So when you are ready, as you externally rotate, you are going to lengthen through your arms, bend the elbows, and then internally rotate the shoulders again. So breath out, breath in. So keep that breastbone lifted. Make sure you're not losing your posture as you are concentrating hard on this movement and this load. Three more for me. Everyone is still moving, which is a good sign. 1, 2, and 3. Well done. So we are going to come back into our shoulder blades. This time we're going to take our arms wide out to the side. So rather than doing an upright row, we're going to do reverse fly. So from here, arms up and then back down again. So up and back down. So in that forward flex position, at those hips, squeezing back and returning. Little nip of those shoulder blades. If you need to stand up and take a little bit of recovery, you're more than welcome to. But just keep drawing in that core, keep that weight on your heels so your buttocks are engaging. Five more here. 1, 2, squeeze in those shoulder blades. Don't just let the arms do the work. Little nip. 3, 4, 5, lovely. And coming down onto the mat for me. So you are going to need your thin head block. Oh, I've thrown that too far out the way. And from here, we're going to come into breaststroke. So breaststroke is different to cobras. Breaststroke extends the thoracic spine into our mid-back. The arms are a lot wider, and you try and encourage some activity of those paraspinal muscles in your mid-back to do some of the work. So forehead on your block, arms wide out to the side, so not on the mat, just off the mat for me. Tucking down through your tailbone, drawing in your core, so deep breath in. As you breathe out, you are going to squeeze and extend. Breath in as you come back again. So you're just going to lift that breastbone up. Little bit of assistance pushing through the hands, but then also squeezing those paraspinals in that mid-back to lift up and extend that section. It's a small range of movement. You're not going to get massive ranges doing this, but as long as you feel that squeeze and connection to that mid-back, as you raise, you're going to be doing it right. So just concentrate on your technique. Again, shoulders away from those ears. Make sure they're not shrugging up. Two more for me. And then coming all the way back into shell stretch. So stretching through those arms into those lats, these muscles underneath here. So forehead down onto the mat if you can. And then we're going to come into press up. So as we do one press up, I want you to hold that extended position and you are going to tap from left to right with those arms, and then you're going to do a press up again. So it's up to you. You can do box press ups from here. If you're doing these ones, just make sure you're bringing your body weight forwards and then you tap from left to right, okay? Obviously, if you're in your half press up position, your chest is going to go in the right direction anyway, so you don't need to bring your body weight forward. So when you're ready, press, tap, tap, okay? So keep going through with that routine. If you want to stick to a set amount, you want to do 3 rounds and rest, that is absolutely fine. So pick what's appropriate to you. Please do listen to your body. Everybody is different. Everybody has weaknesses and strengths, I would say. So if you need that little bit of recovery and rest, please do take it. Three more rounds for me if you can. And again, back into our shell stretch. All the way back. Take the load off those arms if you can. Bring your hands between your shoulder blades, stretching into those triceps. And then lying flat onto your tummy again. So arms are going to come down by your sides. Breaststroke, either level 1 or you can come to level 2, which is with a little bit of a lift through that breastbone and forehead. So easiest option first, squeezing those shoulder blades together, relaxing the hands down. Or you can do a little bit of a hover with that breastbone and that forehead as you raise. So pick what's appropriate to you. Don't forget that nip between your shoulder blades, so nice big squeeze there. Keep that peach underneath your chin. Try not to extend the head and kind of look forward slightly. Don't do that. Keep that peach, keeping that chin down. Working our deep neck flexors. So keep that tailbone tucking down, keep that drawing through your core. Bracing that lower section of the spine and the pelvis so that we don't create lots of pressure and tension on there as we raise. Two more. So lovely. So grabbing hold of your thick block, one of your weights for me, side laying. So the weight of this ball, deep breath in, breath out into our arm openings. So all the way over, breath in as you come back. So a little bit different to when we do it without any weights. It's kind of more of a stretch. You will feel a lot more pressure going on your pecs and on your bicep using the weight. So look all the way with that head as well, all the way around to that ball and return. Don't let that pelvis drop back with you. Keep it nice and stabilised. If you can get that hand eventually down onto that floor behind you, that is perfect. That's really good range of movement. Make sure that that thorax, that chest is getting that mobility too. Make sure you're not really, really dominant with that arm. And as well, the ball, the weight of that ball or weight, whatever you're holding, or tinned food, that's just going to help with that little bit of overpressure. So you might notice that your range of movement improves a little bit quicker with that weight and overpressure. Last one for me. And then you're going to swap to the other side. So swapping those head blocks around. Nice and long through those arms, all the way over. So just connect with that breath pattern, relax and feel the calm through this nice mobility exercise. So hopefully you are close to that floor now, if not already touching it. 2 more. And then coming back for me. So coming into sitting, cross-legged. Sorry, I'm just going to quickly put my hair back. So we're going to come into rotation. So we rotated from the upper portion of our trunk with that last one. So similar one in sitting, but we're going to use the overpressure from our hand on the knee. So you're going to take one hand across and then you are going to twist all the way around, swap to the other side and twist. So keep that spine long, try not to be slumped in this position, so nice and tall. Nice bit of overpressure. So whenever you do rotations with your neck, if you look round and you are getting discomfort and tension tight to the same side you're rotating to, the possibility is you might be quite slumped and protruded through your head. So try and just reset your posture, growing nice and tall. If that still doesn't change it and you're still getting that compression, don't push it as far as that, okay? It's just those facet joints, they might be stacked on top of each other, they might be a little bit stiff. You don't want to place pressure on them and close them down in that position. So just ease away from that overpressure if you do notice that. But hopefully you don't notice that. Hopefully it's nice and mobile into that rotation. And last one for me from left to right. And then when you are ready, very gently coming back up into standing for me. So placing those feet hip distance apart, double knee bend, sweeping those hands into the center, breath out as you go all the way over the top for me. Feel those lungs lengthen through those arms. Those arms might feel a little bit heavier than when you first started. Last one. And relaxing down. Thank you for joining me for that class. If you do have neck, thoracic, shoulder pathologies, it's quite a nice class to kind of go back to as well. Gentle tone, but also some nice mobility and postural information in there too. Please do take care, everyone, and I will see you again at one of our other classes.